Questions for Bush?
With everything that's happened this year, for you guys to still be in the Mountain West title race, just what's the feeling right now?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to this team on the whole. I think certainly the ups, the downs, the resiliency, if you will. I think this is, everything these guys are all about, and we're excited to be in the situation for sure.
Did you ever think it was a possibility with everything that happened? Did you think like, man, is it kind of crazy to think too?
Yeah, I think it kind of is. If you're just being honest with yourself, but. You know how it is within the building. You just kind of keep your head down, and it's 1 week at a time, and working on improvement and what do we got to do to take that next step. And we're certainly fortunate to be in this position.
What do you think of how the offensive line played last week, especially on the interior? It seemed like they opened some pretty huge gaps there.
Yeah, I thought they played pretty well. I think they've been playing really well all year. I mean, this is a offensive line. That's 7th in the nation in rushing, 11th in the nation in sacks given up, and I feel like I'm saying it every week, but the job Tim Keene has done, the job Nate Potter has done, not just this year, but you look at, the 2 or 3 years of recruiting and developing these guys, and I think it's all coming to fruition now. So extremely proud of those guys and what they've accomplished, and we're excited to finish with that group.
The guy who came back this year, he's played 3 positions on the line. What have you seen out of him in terms of leadership out there?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the cooler dudes on the team. I think everybody knows that about him. You guys know that. He's just extremely mature, a guy that embodies being a Bronco maybe more than anybody else, in this organization. Brings his lunch pail to work every day, if you will. And again, you just can't say enough about guys like Garrett, guys like Ben, Cade, Mason, Roger. I mean, that group has been so consistent for 10, 11 weeks now that my hats go off to him.
He's kind of a quiet guy, but I mean, he's nasty on those blocks. When he and Dooley get on a combo block, they flatten the guy. How important is it to kind of have that nasty streak on the line?
Yeah, it's obviously huge. It's something that this program has prided themselves on for a long, long time. And but it's twofold. You got to play with the kind of emotion that he does, but certainly you got to play with that level-headed, be able to focus when you need to focus, make the right calls at the right times, and control that. And I think his maturity throughout his career has allowed him to play his best ball, if you will, in his last year, and that's what everybody's seeing.
We have George and Ashton healthy. Just how awesome was that to see them both finish the game? And, is it almost a case of better late than never for you guys in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, you just got that feeling, that 1-2 punch, those guys being out there, and in an interesting way of seeing George creating those explosive runs that he did. I thought that run he made, we're down 10-0, I think, in the second quarter. We hand the mid-zone play off. He goes 70 yards for that touchdown, really sparked our offense. So, again, having both those guys healthy, smiling, ready to go has been a huge boost for our offense.
Been a trying year for George. What's that say about him? And to have a game like that after everything, and he's a senior. I mean, what can you say about him?
Yeah, I think there's always the games and the years that a lot of these college athletes go through, but I think it's way bigger than that. It's that constant battle with themselves and their injuries and the confidence and that resiliency that I think will be with them for the rest of their lives. And I think that about George. I mean, here's a guy that I don't know if you can be any more productive than he's been at his time at Boise, but on the same token has had to deal with every year, the ups and downs, the injuries, your body. And so, again, I think it's for the fan base, for what he means to this program is tremendous. But I also think he'll look back at these last 4 or 5 years and realize what he went through to have the production he did, and certainly hold his head high.
What do you see out of Spencer in the way that he acted as a head coach last week? And he seemed to kind of give his assistants maybe some more autonomy or things like that to do what they were hired to do. What did you kind of see out of Spence as an acting head coach last week?
Yeah, I've just been so impressed with him since I've known him. He's kind of one of the guys in the coaching ranks who I know when I took this job, there were people saying, man, I can't wait for you to meet him and be around him. And so I think the unique thing was there wasn't a huge change. It wasn't it wasn't anything that wasn't authentic to who he is. I think it's he's got a lot of love for these kids, a lot of care for these kids. He understands the human element, if you will. And I thought he did a tremendous job of limiting the distractions, keeping us focused, and obviously it certainly paid off in that game.
Some small changes, though. I mean, players got an extra hour with their family. The seating arrangement was changed on the plane. Those are small things, but how far can small things like that go?
Certainly, a long way, for sure. And I think the timing is everything, and I don't just naturally being late in the year too as well with these guys. Certainly some of the things he's done with practice, to give them and their bodies a break, if you will, I think are important. But, I think the world of him, again, been fortunate to work with him for a year, been fortunate to learn from him, be around him, and it's been a great experience.
That moment like to kind of see him get the Gatorade bath and the guys just mob him, was that pretty special for you to kind of witness, to see him get that moment Saturday?
Yeah, I think so. As the older you get, I say this to these guys all the time, right? Like everybody's always looking at what's next, right? Where are we headed? What are we doing? And I think, I think the older you get, you learn to appreciate, to be where your feet are and to enjoy these moments. And I've said it before, Spencer will be a head coach, whether that's in 6 weeks here somewhere else or in a couple years from now. But I think to have that opportunity to lead a program that he's loved so much and to have that outcome will be something that he cherishes for a long time.
I know Jabril was the one that called down to make the call to say, hey, give him the Gatorade shower. But we haven't heard the story from the booth. Was there discussion up there, or just kind of have that discussion?
I don't know. I don't know if there was total discussion. I know JB's always right next to me, and I laugh because he's like our fifth offensive assistant. He's always so supportive up there. But, again, I just think whether it would have happened there, if it didn't happen on the field, it would happen in the locker room. And I'm just extremely excited that he got to experience that.
Let's go back for a second. After the game, George Halani said it was the most fun he's had playing football since 2019 when they won a championship here. Ahmed said it's the most fun he's had in a really long time. What rejuvenated the fun of football did you feel last week? And how was that point made, or how did it come across?
Yeah, I think probably scoring 45 points and rushing for 350 or whatever, it always feels a lot more enjoyable. But I don't know, this group, again, I just think there's something about their resiliency. We've had ups and downs this year. You guys know it. It's a testament to the whole team, this whole group. I can't tell you how thankful I am. I know in an offensive coordinator role, you're the one calling it. You're the one in front of maybe the camera, but even just this offensive staff of staying the course to put us in a position that we're in, And so I think for all these guys, their love for one another, the way they play for one another, never too high, never too low, eliminating the outside noise, all those kind of cliche type things about teams have showed up this year with this group and their maturity.
I know you're always looking to develop guys in that room. Now you're left with CJ and probably Colt. Like, how does that development go, and how do you get those guys ready just in case, or whatever that looks like, I guess?
Yeah, the best you can. You're almost looking at guys maybe that have been taking scout team reps all year, or in Colt's situation, a guy who maybe hasn't taken a ton of practice reps. But again, that's a great group. They've supported each other tremendously well throughout the year. So certainly now they're getting more and more practice reps, but really their preparation, those guys have been locked in.
What do you think of Taylor's game on Saturday night, and how meaningful is it that he's going to get the chance to finish out the season?
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job. I think certainly really impressed with the explosive plays he made. I do think there's room for growth there, and he understands it. I think the best part about him is his honest assessment. I think right after that game, he's like, hey, I gotta make some more plays right there. And so, again, he is everything you want from a person standpoint. He is continuing to grow his consistency at the quarterback position, and I just feel like, there's a fire lit in him to finish this season the right way, and I think with everything he's been through, it speaks volumes about who he is as a person.
We talked a little bit about Matt Lauder this year, and it seems like every time we do, the run blocking is the first thing that comes back. But past few games, he's become a really consistent pass target for you. Just how complete of a tight end has he become as the year's gone along?
Yeah, I think really complete, and I totally agree with you. I think certainly in the last 2-3 weeks, he's one of those guys now, whether it's due to situations and injuries or just us realizing, man, this guy, every time he's targeted, has made tough plays. And I think that's the biggest thing about him is that they're tough plays that he's making in the pass game. You know, it's not necessarily he's wide open, but his ability to make those plays, make the first guy miss, get extra yak yards has been tremendous. He's an extremely reliable player, and certainly one of the guys we really, really look to getting the ball to.
It didn't seem like it took Ashton too long to shake off the rust. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, just super cool to get him back. And, you know, he had the knee brace on, and so you just never know. You know, we kind of talk about that a lot, Jay, where in some ways it's like, hey, a guy's back, but, okay, there's still 3 weeks of not practicing and so on and so forth. So awesome to see him get back to, you know, his usual self, because at times it feels like a video game out there when you're just watching him bounce off defenders. And again, you know, we're looking forward to these next couple weeks.
I know what happens this weekend. I mean, it could come down to the computer rankings. Are you thinking about maybe getting some style points, like maybe trying to win by, you know, a couple more touchdowns? You know, is that going through your mind at all? You know,
Not even kind of. You know, I think just the way this whole year has gone, you know, I think about midway through that third quarter, we were in 4-minute mode, and we were just kind of taking time off the clock just because not one thing or another, not one side of the ball or another, but there's been some wild things that have happened to us. And so whatever it takes to win these games is certainly our main focus.
I was joking around with George after the game on that 75-yard touchdown run. What was kind of going through your head there? Did he have enough in the tank, or like what? He broke through. I mean, that was the parting of the sea there, if you will. So what was kind of going through your mind?
Yeah, just again, you know, sometimes maybe it's a play call that sparks an offense, or we needed something in that moment, and I really think George sparked us there, you know, and it was an outstanding job from the offensive line. It was not, it was a base DNA run call that we've probably been running since fall camp, and the ability for him to make that play, but even the blocking downfield, if you watch that play, Austin Bolt continuing to finish in the end zone, and you guys know how it is. I mean, sometimes even those kind of plays, if a tackle's made on the 8-yard line, don't always result in a touchdown. And so to finish that play when he did, to come back that very next drive, defense getting us the ball back and score, I just think that was a huge lift up, if you will, for our entire offense and team.
Senior night on Friday, Riley Smith, you know, he's a guy I would assume is going to take part, but
Yeah.
he's a guy that's not going to catch 50 passes a year. But I mean, you know, what has he meant to this offense? What has his experience and his leadership meant to this offense?
Yeah, I think, look, I think it's easy for guys that are off the charts productive to be awesome leaders, right? Things are working out for them exactly how they planned it. The energy's always good, but I always look at, you know, who's the glue of the team, who's the nucleus of the team, if you will. And to be a guy like Riley, we talk about George, who's certainly put in the work, done everything the right way, but had to deal with the ups and downs, injuries, and throughout his career. And for him to come every day into this building, lead by example, I just think when you got guys like that who maybe haven't had as much success as they would have liked, but they carry themselves that way, those are the guys that kind of can move the room, if you will, and I'm really proud of everything he's done.
We don't know what's beyond this week, in all honesty. How do you just kind of approach the next, 6 days until game day gets here? And I know you really love this place, so just how do you kind of go the day to day? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think that's probably growth and maturity in this profession, I think, of this one day at a time focus, because again, even I would even say through New Mexico, preparing for that game, there was certainly a lot of distractions for us in general, but I think we're taking one day at a time. And I know we've, certainly offensively, we feel, it's been 9 straight weeks of 30 points, and that's something we've kind of hung our hat on, and keeping that streak alive. And again, it's a testament to these players. It's a testament to these coaches. We want to finish this thing the right way. We do. And so we've got this great opportunity, and all the focus is there, and then we'll see how things shake out after that.
I know that, you look at your stories here, whether it be as a player or as a coach, it doesn't seem like it's always like kind of, in all honesty, worked out for you. You know what I mean? Like you don't get the starting job as a senior, and here you're averaging over 30 points per game. You're top 30 in the country in scoring, and you don't know your future. How do you, I guess simplest way to put it, why do you love this place so much? Why does it still mean so much to you, and how much growth has it given you throughout your life?
Yeah, I think, certainly the people of Boise, I mean, it's second to none. Just the relationships I have here. But yeah, maybe there's certain places in your life that just don't always bounce out exactly how you want it to, but there's a reason for that too. And I think, just again, the growth, I mean that in a lot of ways of this year and this team and what we've been able to accomplish with the amount of moving parts, if you will, has been a huge development and something that I'll be proud of and the staff will be proud of.
Feeling walking off of Fresno, and for all intents and purposes, that was going to be it. But here you guys are. I mean, does that just say a lot that they kept the belief, after that game?
Yeah, I think so. I do. I mean, I think it's a testament to this conference. I mean, you look at these games week in and week out, and it's again, it's a lot different than maybe when I played here. There's not a whole lot of sure fits, if you will, of this team's going to beat this team. The question is just by how much. Week in and week out, you go look at what Wyoming did last week. Having a big game, I believe, against Hawaii, and the week before Hawaii goes and knocks somebody else off. So I just think, this conference continues to just show what it's all about. And again, I think that's the brand of football we're playing.
Anything else? All right, thank you all.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yes, Coach.